This week's Michigan Lottery Excellence in Education winner is Molly Collins, along with her sidekick, Brody James, a 6-year-old lad from Penfield High School. Congratulations. We have a video from your nominator. Let's take a look.
I nominated Molly Collins for the Excellence in Education Award because Miss Collins encourages her students to show up and be on their A game for themselves and those around them every single day. Miss Collins' lesson plans stretch far beyond the traditional aspects of physical education, and through her passion for health and wellness, she has created a motivating and safe environment that inspires her students to set goals, have self-discipline, and gain self-confidence. These are life skills that they will take with them to build meaningful and well-balanced lives for years to come.
What do you think about that when you see that?
Well, Liz is one of my best friends, and it's just nice to see that people who are close to you see. And I told you I wasn't going to try and cry, but just recognize what you do. So.
Yeah, it's hard being a teacher.
It is, yeah, but it's one of the most rewarding things you could do. So, see, you jinxed me.
I'm curious. And going off that, tell me why you decided to be a teacher.
Well, I had one of the best role models, as my mom was a teacher. She was actually my health and PE teacher in high school, and I had her all 4 years, sometimes twice within a year. And she just really valued our human body, but the mental and the social and emotional piece of health. And she just had such great connections, and I knew I wanted to be able to impact students. Originally, I thought I wanted to go into the medical field, and had a conversation with my mom. She's like, you would be great at this. And athletics was something that was a huge outlet for me. And so it just seemed right. And I've completely fallen in love with the educational piece of sports and weightlifting and just mental health, emotional health, social health. So it's just been a lot of fun, and I have my mom to thank for that.
Molly, you have a sidekick with you, and that is Brody James, your 6-year-old, whose birthday is today.
Yes, he is honestly such a blessing in my life. I got him 6 years ago, and the school district at the time was super welcoming to trying him out as a therapy animal within the school. A year later, he was certified through the Alliance of Therapy Dogs, and he's been with Penfield ever since. It's just amazing to see what he can do and what he can tell me. So he can sense things about students, and it's a huge assessment tool for me to be able to go and talk to a kid, maybe, or also people are just much more welcoming and wanting to talk to you, and it's a safer environment. It feels more like home when an animal's around. And so we now have in our district four therapy dogs, and Brody was the kind of the gung-ho one that started it. So very proud mom.
So, even in high school, kids just want to be kids. Tell me how you encourage that, even with your high school students.
Well, they should be kids. I think that's something that we've, in a way, forgotten within the education realm, is that these are still kids, and they need to go out and play. They need to have mistakes and learn from them, because it's really the only way they can learn is by failing. And I encourage failures in my class and mistakes, because that's the best teacher. And we'll have days where, I'll give them pieces of equipment and be like, all right, figure out a game, like make a game up. It's what I used to do with my friends when we were in summer and outside all the time. And parents wouldn't let you back in the house a little bit. And so I think it taps into that creative piece of our brain that we don't get to activate very often.
Yeah. I know also on the other spectrum, social media is pretty big for you. So
yeah,
tell me about that.
Well, so social media, it's prevalent, right? And there's no getting away from it. So I feel as if I need to be able to meet the students where they're at, but show them how to do it in a positive way, because there's so much negativity online right now that if I can highlight them working out or doing good things in school, it's going to be the best advocate for my program and physical education, health in schools, which I think there needs to be more of. I just think that meet the students where they're at, make it so that they're proud of themselves. So if I can highlight them, they're going to show their mom and dad. Their mom and dad are going to see what they're doing in class and be like, wow, I want them to take that every year. And it's that ripple effect that I'm hoping to have. So I love social media for that piece, but there is definitely negatives to it.
And we've heard that, you're much more than just a mentor to the students. You want them to think of you as their friend.
Yeah, because relationships are the biggest piece for me. And maybe that friendship doesn't come until after they graduate, because I still want them to see me as that authority figure. But I need to be able to create a relationship with my students for them to even want to do anything for me. The best teachers I had in school were the ones that truly cared about me as an individual. Someone who asked me about my basketball games that night, or, hey, did you go to church this weekend, or whatever it may be, and talk to me about prevalent things in my life. Came to funerals of people who had passed away that were close to me, and that meant they're treating me like a human. And that's what I want my students to be able to feel. I want them to remember me and how I made them feel more than even the content that they learned.
I always ask this question, fast forward 20 years from now, you run into a former student. What do you hope that they tell you about their experience in your classroom?
I hope that they tell me that they've continued on with their health and wellness journey, and for something, whatever little knowledge nugget was served in my class, that it propelled them forward, and that they're doing that same thing for the next generation, whether it's their kids, it's a job that they're in, but they're wanting to make people feel great, just as maybe I did to them, and show just one-on-one time. Everyone has the ability to give someone 30 seconds, 1 minute of undivided attention, and I hope that they continue to give that to someone else.
Thank you for what you do.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Molly receives a $1,500 check from the Michigan Lottery, and her class at Penfield High School in Battle Creek receives a $500 grant. Excellence in Education Award sponsored by the Michigan Lottery, providing more than $27 billion to public education since 1972.